Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexandra. In today's video, we're gonna do this anti-Valentine's Day makeup look. Since it's so viral out there, I decided to make this look for you guys. So if you want to see how I achieved it, please keep watching. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and put on your notifications bell. Thank you guys.
So I'm starting out by putting a little bit of that Too Faced concealer on my eyelid and using it as an eye base. And I'm just blending it out with this Shaaanxo angled eye brush all over my lid. After that, I'm taking a Zoeva brush. It's called the 227 brush. And I'm blending it out. I'm blending that color out Frisk in just a V shape, sort of. I'm doing that just on the outer edge. So I'm just blending that all over my lid. I'm actually not doing it super carefully. And after that, I realized that I forgot to put my tape just to have like that V shape a little bit more accurate. And yeah, I'm just putting a little bit of tape on my eyes, and that helps me just to get a sharper line. So after that, I'm taking that Frisk shade and I'm continuing the same thing on the other eye, and like this the shape just keeps like a V shape. Next, I'm going in with the shade Necessary from the Desi X Katie collection, just because I needed a little bit more of a warm tone shade just in between and not such a cool tone. So I'm just blending that out on both of my eyelids just to make it a little bit more seamless. Next up, I decided to use the 39A Morphe palette, and I'm just using the shade in the outer corner that's more like a burgundy tone, which is perfect for this look. And I'm using this to blend it out with this Ubu brush that is super good. This brush was like, I think, €3. It's one of my favorite brushes and it works perfectly. So I'm just using that same shade on the outer corner, and I'm also using it a little bit in the inner corner to create more of a ombre look. And it's more like a halo look. And after that, I'm taking the Zoeva 221 brush to blend out the edges and to make it more seamless. After that, I'm taking this shade just next to the burgundy one that's a little bit lighter, and I'm taking that same brush and just patting it on the outer corner again. I'm taking that same Ubu brush that I love so much, and I'm just patting it all over that burgundy shade just to blend them in a little bit better and to make this look not so mauve. It was turning a little bit mauvey, so I just decided to use this more of a like pinkish shade, I would say, or more like reddish shade, and just to change the tone a little bit. After that, I'm just taking that same 227 brush and blending out the edges. I'm just using the Ubu brush and that 227 Zoeva brush so far. Next up, I'm taking that brown middle shade just to connect these two shades together and to make it a little bit more seamless. And I'm taking it on that same Zoeva brush, the 221 Luxe Crease brush, just to blend it out a little bit better. Next up, I'm taking that shade again, and I'm just layering it off on top of the burgundy shade, and I'm just doing like layer on top of layer, blending it out, layering again, and until I get the right consistency. After that, I'm taking that same shade again and just layering it in the inner corner on both of my eyes, just to create this ombre effect and this more of halo look. Next up, I'm taking this shimmery pinkish shade and putting it all over my lid with my finger, because I always place the color with my finger first, and then I'm switching to a brush just to get into the inner corners a little bit better. I'm switching to a 232 brush, but before I will spray it with a little bit of fixing spray, just so there isn't any fallout. And I'm doing the exact same thing on the other eyes. As you can see, having the tape helps so much, and I'm doing also my eye makeup before my face makeup. So in case you get any fallout, that's fine. There's actually absolutely no problem. And yeah, it's just a little tip here. After that, I took the same Zoeva brush to blend out the edges, and now I'm taking off my tape. As you can see, it looks super sharp, and then I'm just taking a Garnier tissue to clean up all the fallout or anything I just don't want there. Next up, I'm using my two favorite liners. I'm using my Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Satin, and also my NYX matte liner. These are I'm getting tongue twisted. These are my favorite eyeliners on the planet. After that, I'm using the Hangover Primer, the coconut one. I love it so much because it smells so good and it's so hydrating. And after that, I'm using the Lumi primer from L'Oreal. It's super beautiful because it gives you that sheen, and yeah, I'm just using that on the high points of my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead and my chin. Well, basically all over the face in the end. And after that, I'm just blending it all out with my beauty blender, because it's the best way to blend out any liquid. After that, I'm taking the I think it's called the Hello Happy foundation from Benefit, and that Charlotte Tilbury foundation, the one that's super luminous, and I'm just mixing both of them, and then I'm using a brush to blend it all out. Next up, I'm taking one of my favorite concealers, the one from Too Faced. I'm in the shade Light Beige, and I'm working it in layers as well. I'm just adding a little bit. As you can see, it's the same color as my skin tone. Since I have such dark eye circles, I use it to neutralize them, and then I'm adding a little bit more later on, just so they're not there anymore. Oh, and I'm using here the petal brush, the one from the vegan set from XO from AlexBeauty. I love this brush so much. And first, I always use a brush to add the concealer, and then I'm blending it out with the beauty blender. After that, I'm taking the concealer from Huda Beauty. I love this concealer so much, and I'm just using it to highlight my face. As you can see, I'm not putting it on my dark circles, and I'm blending it out with the beauty blender. I'm in the shade Nougat. Next up, I'm taking the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops. I love these dewdrops so much. They make your skin look so plump and beautiful. And I'm just putting them on the outer parts of my face. And I'm blending them out with the Beauty Blender, of course. Next up, I'm taking my favorite RCMA powder just to set everything, but it looks like a NYX jar, but it's actually the RCMA one. Since the RCMA one is so big, I just transport it into the little NYX jar that I have, so it's a little bit more practical. Next up, I'm taking that Morphe palette again and taking that burgundy shade that I used in the beginning, the first burgundy shade that's a little bit darker, and I'm just putting that on my lower lash line with my favorite Uber brush. Here I was a little bit clumsy and somehow I got brow stuff all over my face and my fingers, but I cleaned it up perfectly fine with this spoolie and I just blended it out with my beauty blender, so nothing happened. It was just a little accident. Next up, I'm taking this Morphe B75 brush and I'm taking a little bit of black and putting that on my lower lash line just to make it a little bit more dark and deep. And I'm just blending it out with that same 227 brush from Zoeva. Next up, I'm taking this Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. It's one of my favorite mascara. It makes my lashes super long and plump and beautiful. So I'm just using it on my lower lash line and on my lashes. Next up, I'm using one of my favorite eye pencils. It's called the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Berry Fantastic in number 29. Next up, I'm using this Hourglass bronzer in the shade Lightning Bronze. It's one of my favorite bronzers because it gives so much luminous to the face. And I'm using this better brush that I have. It's, I think, like €5. This brush, you can use any brush that you prefer. Next up, I'm taking the Hoola bronzer and I'm using that to blend it out with the Zoeva Luxe face brush and to sculpt my cheeks a little bit. Next up, I'm using this Ofra highlighter in the shade Seabop and I'm blending it out with the R18 brush from Morphe. I'm taking the same shade on a Morphe M431 brush and putting that in the inner corner. Next up, I'm taking this Essence long-lasting lip liner in the shade 11 Be a Game Changer, and I'm just lining out my lips. Next up, I'm using this ultra matte liquid lipstick from L'Oreal in the shade Cacao Crush. These smell so good. I love all these liquid lipsticks. And as always, I made a mess and I'm just cleaning up everything with a little bit of concealer and a small lip brush that I have. And after that, I'm blending out the edges so you cannot see the harsh lines from the concealer. This is a technique I always use just to fix up everything. Here I decided to put on some earrings just to make it look a little bit more extra for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this makeup look, and yeah, please, if you like the video, just subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!